my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings. Welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, The King. Now, I had a whole different video set up for you today, and I wasn't going to release a certain video today, but I decided, you know what? Y'all might as well get all the sauce. So this show today is going to probably be at least an hour or so long. And why is it going to be an hour or so long? Because, a lot of people forget I've been down with this Xbox joint from day one. I've done bled green from day one. From the moment that y'all launched in Manhattan, I was there. I got my consoles. I rocked with you from Xbox to 360. I know who was there, Steve Ballmer, everybody. I got, when they was treating Bonnie Ross the way they was treating Bonnie Ross, I had Bonnie Ross back because I understood what was going on in the studio. I know what sold, what didn't sell. I know from the Xbox OG to the 360. My question is, how come there's no loyalty with the ex-workers that was at Microsoft? They help you make some bread. They put you on when you was off. They turned your light switch on and got you motivated. They gave you inspiration to go get stuff done. You was tasked with a certain job, and now you back after you got canned. And you trying to run it up on these bumps. My question is, why are you trying to run it up on them? Why isn't it no loyalty? Why are you individuals this salty and this backstabbing some weirdos, B? My mama told me, if you ain't got nothing good to say, keep your lips shut, right? I got a secret. You take your top lip and you make it touch your bottom lip and you shut up. That part. We're going to get to these topics today, man. FTW, man. And I got some free games that I'm talking about with you guys. But work got to get give. So you know how we do it over here. We only going to do it with the free deals. Get that. Listen, Xbox fans, you only have 48 hours to get this game. It's exclusive right now. It's for free. Xbox players across Xbox One Series S and X have roughly 48 hours left to run out and get this game. This game is from the summer of 2020. I know y'all remember this game. It's called Tell Me Why from Don't Nod Entertainment. Now, it's a French studio that, have a collection of games that's on Game Pass. But check this out. Normally, this game runs for $20. This game is not $20. This game is free. You have to sign in through the Microsoft Store. So you go to the Microsoft Store. When you go to the Microsoft Store, it's going to say the Game Pass thing. And then what you're going to see right next to it is say, get it for free. Normally, it's $20. I'm going to be bringing these deals to you no matter what it is. Why? Because if it's free, it's me. And that's what you got to be. You got to be a consumer first at all times. Stop doing what these dudes doing. They BSing you. Make sure you get in there and Tell Me Why. I don't care if you like it or not. Get it. It's free. Fans of Halo need to look no further for information than October 2025. Rumors have been swirling for a while now. The Xbox flagship series Halo might be making its leap to the PlayStation in the near future. I call horse pucky. There have also been rumors that the remake from the OG game, now Halo Studios' former 343 Industries, has stepped forward to explain that it will provide actual information later on this year. Earlier this month, Phil Spencer ended the company's summer showcase with a tease for what's coming in 2026, promising a new Fable, a new Gears, a new Forza, and hinting at a new Halo by saying, and the return of a classic that has been with us since the beginning. You know and I know Halo will always be the franchise that will stick with the Halo and Xbox consumer. October is sure to shock and amaze a lot of people. But what's going on in October is a lot. You have a ton of games launching. You have hardware launching. You have people in an uproar claiming what is hardware, what isn't hardware, how you should do it, how you shouldn't do it. Me personally, deliver good product, deliver good game, deliver great information, give us the roadmap that we so desire, and Xbox fans will be happy. This leads me to laugh out loud because right on cue, like I told you they would do during the week where Microsoft has layoffs, apparently, allegedly, supposedly, rumored. Former Blizzard president and ex-Xbox exec says Xbox needs to pick a lane. Now, if you are finding it hard to figure out who am I talking about, I'm talking about none other than Mike Ibarra, the guy that was super happy to be back, but something went wrong, and now he's not back with the company. He is gone. I don't think Mike Ibarra is even in the gaming business anymore. I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know where he is at the moment, but I do know this. I do know that anytime he does say something, it's absolutely salty when it comes to Microsoft and Xbox. And I'm not defending the corporation, but I'm just telling you, it seems to be a trend. It seems to be a sore spot. Sometimes when you have a bone to pick, the words that come out of your mouth is a little sharp. Ibarra, who served as various roles as Microsoft for 20 years before becoming Blizzard's president for 3 years, took to X to give his views on the Xbox current situation. Seems like a lot of former employees need to voice their opinion on what's going on in a place that they no longer work. Imagine me talking about Domino's. I no longer work there. Imagine me talking about, I don't know why it took so long for them to make stuffed crust. I've been telling them for years. They need to pick a lane. They need to stick to it and be exactly who they are. Domino's, you know nothing. I look forward to the day where you actually take my advice. I built this brand brick by brick, and it hurts me to see the company in this state. If that sounds stupid, well, imagine how this sounds. It's tough to see Xbox confused at who it is and what it should be. Ibarra wrote, some great people are still there. See, he said some. So obviously you have a bone to pick. They have to figure out what needs to change and fast. I'm a big fan and will always bleed green. Hard to tell. Cheering the team on from the sidelines. You have been benched, bucko. Actually, you've been traded. Actually, you've been let go. Actually, you went to your locker and found a pink slip. Actually, the team took away your key card and said don't enter the building anymore. Pick your lane and stick to it. That's exactly what they told you. Go pick a lane, go stick to it. Have a nice day, don't come back. Aside from a follower that he thinks Xbox should be, Ibarra says, it felt like they should focus on being a publisher rather than a console manufacturer. Maybe if ABK wasn't run into the ground, Xbox wouldn't have had to come over and to pull y'all out of the fire. Last time I checked, you couldn't run those studios. So how dare you look at Microsoft to try to figure out how come they can't run this? All I'm saying is, if you knew business, then ABK would still be independent. Obviously, you didn't know something, and they were sold. You can blame Bobby all you want. Last time I checked, Xbox is doing very well with ABK. A whole lot better than ABK was doing alone. Please stick a lane and stay in it. My birthday is a phenomenal day, and I will say thank you to Microsoft for dropping Mecca Break inside Game Pass. If you've been looking for this multiplayer free-to-play game that's coming to Xbox day one inside Game Pass, well, then check this out. It's dropping, and you'll get a chance to have fun with it on July 2nd. July 2nd is going to be a day for you to jump inside Game Pass this Wednesday and have absolute fun. If you like mechs, if you like that game Zona Enders, remember that game for the PlayStation that kind of secretly shipped Metal Gear Solid demo? That game. That is what you're looking forward to. Get a chance to play Mecca Break on July 2nd. July 2nd, if you are a Robotech fan, if you are a fan of those fast-moving, finger-twitching, Mecca Salt type of games, well, then I got a game for you. Oh, or are we going to finally just start saying that, King, you're right, and we're going to stop questioning what the hell you be talking about? Using AI is no longer an optional when it comes to Microsoft. They just made Copilot damn near mandatory for its staff as a critical performance metric. Now, not to bog you down with all the stuff that is really probably mundane to you, what they're doing inside the company is a lot of cloud infrastructure people that are, counterparts to the AI infrastructure people are getting paid a lot less than the AI people. AI people are getting paid anywhere from 360,000, and that's 160,000 more than their counterparts in other divisions. With incentives like that, with metrics being placed on employees to make sure that they're utilizing the tools, the AI tools. See, because what happens is they need the AI to be learning at a rapid rate. So high-level entry workers are incentivized to use these AI tools so the AI can learn exactly what it is they need to learn, report that back, get that to a database. The more the AI learns, the smarter it becomes. So that means the more you use it, the better it becomes. So in a tech giant as Microsoft, $3 billion, multi-trillion-dollar company, I was about to say 300 some odd billion. That's just that division. What they're doing is funneling your demise. You're going to get paid handsomely to build your replacement. Trust and believe. Immediately, once they reach the critical threshold and where the AI is necessary to be autonomous and doing what you have programmed it to do, you have trained it to do. Repetition is the key to your destruction. You have to really look at it. You're not seeing it. And it's happening all across the boards in every industry. Why do you think that this industry is different when they're in a fight with Google and Meta to absolutely win? When it comes to AI, their quantum chip, they need that quantum chip to be coupled with an AI AGI agent in order to get the most out of that quantum chip. You guys aren't really understanding. And I know you might say, well, King, what the hell can we do? This ain't really for us. This fight is for those people internally fighting. They're not unionized. They cannot be unionized. Not when you're making that money. There's no union for those individuals. Man. But I've explained it to you numerous times. These are why layoffs is happening. This is why this week the fiscal year is ending and starting of the new fiscal year right before this holiday. You will see why. Satya Nadella says Microsoft AI performance is doubling every 6 months. They're already close to leading the industry in that category. Microsoft says Copilot and ChatGPT Copilot is ChatGPT with better security. That was a dig at ChatGPT, even though they're in a fight with them right now. It's conversations like that that make Sam Altman fight as hard as he's fighting.
Salesforce. And you've said today's CEOs will be the last to manage all human workforces. What does this mean for businesses?
I just had a meeting, coming from a meeting with my head of engineering, and we're looking at productivity levels of 30 to 50% this year in key functions like engineering, coding, support.
You're saying
service.
AI is doing 30 to 50% of the work?
AI is doing 30 to 50% of the work at Salesforce now. And I think that will, continue. I think that all of us have to get our head around this idea that AI can do things that before, we were doing, and we can move on to do higher value work.
How secure is all this? I mean, there's malicious code, there's hallucinations. Like, what are the risks for businesses?
Security, there's no finish line. You can never have extreme confidence on security. You have to be completely paranoid. Hallucinations is a different story. The current state of the art of AI is not 100% accurate. In our own work, we're doing hundreds of thousands of conversations, just ourselves and our company with our customers, and we have about 93% accuracy.
93%, though, that's not good enough, is it?
It's pretty good. You're able to do a lot, but you have to be realistic that we're not at 100. You'll never see me saying that we're at 100%. But I think for a lot of the other vendors, maybe they're at much lower levels because they don't have as much data and metadata, and they're not able to kind of put as much information into the model to get to a higher level of accuracy.
You can see that Xbox has finally landed on a strategy, a plan for the future of Xbox. It's the Xbox Anywhere plan. They're betting the entire business on Game Pass and leaving the hardware innovation to their partners at Asus.
That's one way to think about it. Is it the whole thing in a nutshell? I don't think so.
This wasn't surprising. Hardware is expensive to make. It's much easier to slap an Xbox sticker on an existing piece of hardware and call it a day. It requires very little effort in comparison.
I don't think so. I think when you're going into a niche market, you look at a niche market, you understand who are the, leading dogs in the niche market, and you give some type of feedback on it. They've been partners with them for a little while, seeing where the market is going, understanding where it is. I think it takes a lot to go in to do that. I think it would be foolish for Microsoft to launch their handheld into this market without seeing the metrics of what a partnership would look like.
And if you don't care about console sales or exclusive games anymore, why bother innovating in hardware?
The fact that she's assuming that they don't care about console sales or hardware anymore, that's an assumption based off of her perspective of the industry.
I'll admit, it's a great message for gamers. Who doesn't want to play their games with their family and friends on any device and any platform? But that's all it is. It's marketing. It's style, not substance.
So you feel that there's no substance to it based on everybody else gets a chance to play any way that they choose to play on any device that they choose to play with. And I think this is based and rooted in a rudimentary philosophical thought process that is kind of based in you started the Xbox brand. So you have a dog in this fight.
Because you say something, it doesn't mean that you can do it. And it also doesn't mean that you won't change your mind.
They're doing it, and they've changed their mind on numerous occasions. So who's to say that they don't change their mind and just say, you know what, never mind, we're going to do this and a third. I doubt that very seriously. I think they're wholeheartedly committed into play everywhere, producing hardware for dedicated people that still want that device. But the bigger problem is what people don't understand is you need that dedicated hardware to go inside those server units in order to still fabricate the hardware for individuals. It still needs to be placed inside the servers. They keep omitting that one fact.
After all, Xbox has been pivoting a lot lately.
They pivoted so hard that you're no longer working there. And the fact that they use Hi-Fi Rush, a game that did not sell on the Xbox platform, that Microsoft gave every opportunity to sell by placing it inside the store and placing it on the platform, by putting it in front of everyone, a game that could have been Game of the Year contender, but had the zero sales, placed it on another platform to see if sales would actually indicate anything. It didn't. And they still kept the studio alive while shopping them around until they were able to be purchased. I think that was a great thing. So putting Hi-Fi Rush is disingenuous. Showing an explosion was just for dramatic flair.
That's me. And you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Well, it's pretty standard.
Great
Remember when
editing.
they talked about the importance of high-quality games, but then shut down the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush?
What's the sales metrics? If you loved it so much, why didn't you buy it?
What about Game Pass? One of the defining features was day one games, and now there are tiers that don't offer the feature at all.
It's tiers that don't offer it because pushing Ultimate Game Pass is exactly what's going to make it sustainable. And now the strategy in placing Game Pass in other places, that works. Putting it on Amazon, putting it on GeForce Now, putting it inside VR, and then having entry-level tiers to see if you actually want to partake in it. Now, of course, you have to put some form of tier structure. Everyone has tiers. Some people have ads, no ads. Some people have day one, no day one. Some systems don't have day one at all. But let's keep talking.
Last year, Phil expressed how $70 pricing could feel manipulative to gamers, and now he's on board with charging $80 for Outer Worlds 2.
$80 for Outer Worlds 2 is being placed on the PlayStation ecosystem. You ask for the games, you beg for the games, you want the games, well, buck up for the games. If you don't want to pay $80, get inside Game Pass. Game Pass has you, and it will always will.
The cost may be high.
I ain't gonna hold you. This editing is top notch. The cost may be high. That was wild business, dirty work. She's doing a great hit job.
One day, I know you'll be mine.
From my perspective, the Xbox strategy has been chaotic, so it's hard to say exactly what they'll do next. But assuming they
Her perspective, assuming again, on the outside looking in. I mean, you haven't been there since the early 2000s, right? I think.
stick with Xbox Anywhere, it's really left me wondering, will the latest announcement drive more gamers to Game Pass? Will they be able to convince gamers that the Xbox ROG Ally is a good idea?
It's about convincing gamers that it's the Xbox ROG Ally a good deal. If you look at the Xbox VR MetaQuest 3S, which is sold out all over the place, you will understand ultimately it's a great deal. Fans are going to gravitate with devices they actually like. It's not up to you or I to say which is a great idea. It's up to the company to look at the metrics and the strategy. This is just another quiver inside the bow in order to get those games to people that actually want to play them on devices they actually use and love.
And what is going to happen with the hardware and software teams that aren't delivering right now in the Xbox team?
Just like any other company, if you don't deliver, I guess you have to be cut. But the fact that Xbox and Microsoft is ramping up for a new set of hardware, I think hardware division is kind of cool. But software, if your software isn't delivering, what do you want them to do? Oh, I get it. They're a $3 trillion company, so they should just eat the cost, right? Yeah, of course. That's what everybody does, right? That's the same thing at every $1 trillion company. Eat the cost.
Are they going to get caught up in the layoffs that Microsoft just announced are coming?
Yeah, kind of like the layoffs that you got caught up in, right? Oh, we wasn't supposed to mention that. Did you start off with saying that I used to work at Microsoft and I got laid off, and this is based on my opinion and my situation that might have happened or might not have happened? I don't know. But let's keep going.
For context, let's talk about why Xbox started and how it played into the strengths of Microsoft. I was working in Microsoft Game Studio.
Here we go. Here's the best part. She was working there. Back in the days before everything went digital, before they shipped their first digital console, before everything changed, before touchscreen became a thing, before everybody wanted to play free-to-play games that destroyed the metrics, before loot boxes, before online gaming was really hitting its stride. She worked there, back in the days.
On Crimson Skies when the console talk started. At that point, Microsoft dominated the office, but Sony owned the living room and was taking a serious bite out of the PC gaming market. When Xbox launched, there were at least 125 million PlayStations available, and there was a reason for that. Gamers could just plug in the PlayStation and the games worked. They didn't have to worry about why that piece of software on their Windows system didn't play nice with the other piece of software.
I want to know how come your Xbox when you was there didn't beat the PlayStation. That's all I want to know. I want to know why you didn't conquer the PlayStation. They had 120 something million. How come your Xbox, when y'all did it the way that you wanted to do it, how come it didn't win? I want to know.
And why their video card wasn't working or that they needed an updated.
She's already critical about Windows. This isn't going too well.
Driver. It was simple.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you, son. Salty as F.
Thanks.
Of course, at that time, game developers actually listened to their customers and they would follow them.
Game developers ain't never listened to their customers at all. She knows it and I know it. Stop the cat, B.
With all of these gamers going to PlayStation, game developers started trying to climb the hill of learning the PlayStation. And if they could do that, then they didn't have to worry after they made their game about testing all of those hardware and software compatibility issues that plagued the Windows ecosystem. It just worked.
I want to know why you didn't make a box that won. They did it your way and they lost. But here you go, talking about the new strategy. Looks like it's going to lose. Y'all should do it my way. They did it your way. You lost.
Microsoft could see this threat, so they jumped in and did what Microsoft does.
Bill saw the threat. And Palmer saw the threat. Let's go.
Best. They took over an existing market by leveraging their strengths. They already had a fine-tuned system of execution at scale.
Bunch of horse pucky. The fact is, they went and they brought their games. They went and brought Halo. Sega was outside of the scope. There was a lot of gamers that wanted a Sega back in the business, and Microsoft just fit the bill. Right place at the right time. TurboGrafx fell out. Neo Geo was too costly. 3DO wasn't really good. So what the hell? Microsoft steps in and Microsoft comes in to save the day. Why? Because the last real Microsoft console was the Dreamcast, which failed miserably, right? Remember Windows CE? That was in Dreamcast. Let's keep rewriting history like I wasn't there to see it all. I'm glad you let me know that you was the person that was in charge that didn't win nothing.
They knew how to ship product and they knew how to scale their system across a large team. Luckily, Microsoft had already built a game developer foundation with Microsoft Windows and DirectX.
Wait a second, they stopped making DirectX? I need to know. Please let me know. Somebody tell me, did they stop making DirectX? I thought 13 was showing up. Let's get back to it because, DirectX, let's go.
The message for Xbox was simple. With a hard drive, you could build your game once on Xbox or Windows and it would just work. Of course, the problem was Windows was bloated. So without telling Bill Gates, the Xbox team removed the bloat and made a light version to power the box.
I start to try.
The same exact thing they doing for the Xbox ROG Ally X. Removing the bloat, giving you what you want to play it how you want it. But the smart thing is they ain't got to sit there and get a distribution line, manufacturing line. They supply the operating system, software's there, ship. Same thing that you talking about, but they did it without yo joint.
To argue for this, why we can't have the normal version of Windows. Bill doesn't want any of it. He doesn't want to hear it. He yells at me, shuts me down.
We did everything we could to make the platform as attractive for game developers as possible.
And it still didn't work. PlayStation still dominated that ass. At what point do you just say, that ain't working, B? Nope, you kept going, right? Hard head, make it soft behind.
Even hired 50 game makers into the Xbox Advanced Technology Group.
went out and purchased 50 game makers, went out and spent what they got, cash, like they did now, right? Kind of the same way they brought ABK. Please, let's keep going.
To support the game developers. The ATG team collectively had made hundreds of games, so we were great at translating game developer concerns into changes at Microsoft.
None of that stuff turned into anything that was super fantastic. AGT team, get out of here. What they made?
Did whatever it took, and this focus on developers, it was a game changer.
Change what game? Shut up. You only had Halo. I was there. I remember.
Because we attacked one of Sony's biggest weaknesses. They did not have great developer tools or support or documentation.
Games sell consoles, and so in order to sell consoles, we had to win the hearts and minds of the developers.
I could see that Xbox had a
OG Xbox sold less than the Series consoles, and you told me that was a success, but you telling me the Series consoles is a failure. By what metrics are you rocking with this? I really want to know. Because the only successful hardware that you did have was the 360, and that joint had the red ring of death. So what it could have sold, it didn't. And did at the end, it still lost. Oh my God, let's go.
Chance of succeeding. We were listening to developers, and we were building exclusive, high-quality first-party titles. We knew that
You purchased that. You brought it from Bungie. Get out of here. Stop copying it. Yo, you jacking the wrong swag. You acting like I don't know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. The fact that you trying to rewrite history and people don't know what's going on, I know exactly what went on. They went over there, they purchased that game, and it was supposed to be a real-time strategy game. They turned it into a first-person shooter game. Let's go.
Platform adoption requires proof. People don't buy your new hardware if there's no reason to. Definitely a problem for the new Xbox.
Only killer app was Halo.
Handheld. And it worked. By 2012, Xbox was a multi-billion-dollar business, and they were a true player in the living room. Fast forward, and here we are. It's 1 year from the 25th anniversary of the Xbox, and it looks like they're abandoning pretty much everything that made the Xbox brand great.
Like you. It didn't work, and they said, we need to do something strange for some change. We need to get our Game Pass. We need to go day and day on PC. We need to put our games everywhere. We need to make this breaded out. And the fact that they successful makes you guys that did it your way salty. Y'all sound salty.
In the first place, let's start with the handheld announcement. I've seen mixed reactions.
Listen to the music.
That has me really puzzled because I don't see any reason why anyone would buy this piece of hardware.
I don't see why anybody would buy a regular Xbox back in the days and it didn't have nothing but Halo. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Because nobody did buy it. If the Xbox Series consoles outsold it, and we're looking at the Xbox Series consoles at probably 38 million, what does that tell you? If this was the metrics back in the days, isn't that a failure? You were part of a failure. Stop acting like you won something. Just because you had camaraderie in the building don't mean that you won anything.
Just like the original Xbox, it's built on Windows, a slimmed down version of Windows, but it's still Windows. So this isn't something new. And let me just admit my bias here. I don't like Windows.
I am so glad that she told the truth. That's right. Tell the truth and shame the devil. She hate Windows. She hate it in its entirety. That's probably why she not there. I'm just telling you. If you work for my company, let's say we make hamburgers and I make the best burger. Let's say I make the king burger, right? And you tell me I hate burgers. Well, guess what's going to happen? You ain't going to be there too long there, bucko. I'm just saying.
I left Microsoft. I installed Linux on all of my personal systems.
That sounds like hate, B. You went to the competitor. That's like working at Burger King, and everything after that was straight Mickey D's. Sounds like hate.
And I never looked back. Of course, as many pointed out after PewDiePie did the same thing, Windows is still needed for some games, so I created a dual boot machine for those cases. Incidentally, this line...
And she realized no matter what, you still got to come back to source. No matter what, you will always come home to source.
The freedom of Windows? Freedom? Windows 11 is forcing you to have separate accounts so they can track everything you do.
Wow, this is fear-mongering at the highest. This is dope. I ain't gonna hold you. This hit piece, how she put it together, spot on, B. I'm talking about A1 hit piece.
Doesn't feel very free. And they are leaving a lot of their Windows 10 users behind because they require a chip to be installed on the motherboard in order for you to upgrade. Microsoft.
Oh, Windows 10 users. We are already on to Windows 11. We're trying to get to Windows 12. I feel so sorry for those people that's weird using Windows. It's over. So what? Why are you trying to galvanize the public to go with you? This is the wildest hit piece I've ever seen.
You do you, but freedom is literally the last thing I...
Yo, and you literally had PewDiePie there and had American flag. Not that dude with the American flag. We already know. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that because we already know what's up with that and this situation. He overcame that. I think y'all forgave him. I never went back. But, okay, since that's your champion, kind of know where it's at, huh?
Would use to describe the Windows operating system. So given the Xbox was already built on Windows, I don't see that that's really a big selling point. But that's okay, because it's really about the games. Will it be Halo? Will it be the new Gears? Is there going to be a game so compelling that it drives me to adopt this new handheld? Well, here's the problem. Xbox doesn't do exclusives anymore. Even
now she's reading. Yo, this is a person that plays Twitter, and she's playing the best Twitter game ever. Xbox doesn't do exclusives no more. Well, you tell me, what device can you get all the Xbox games on right now? And I need to know. Because the last time I checked, that's only on the Xbox device. Now, the moment that every game is on another platform, then we can have that conversation. But I'm asking you guys, don't she sound like J-Dub or Porter Rock or King Thrash or Jay Barry? I got to give talking points to a lot of people that actually have good talking points. Doesn't she sound like she's console war and she's down with Twitter? I mean, I'm just saying, let me know, because I could be wrong here, right? I could be holding her to a different standard. Am I wrong? Y'all guys got to let me know. Am I wrong?
Xbox delivers a crazy great game. Xbox Anywhere means that I can play that game on any platform.
Run them their money. Somebody sounds like they're upset that they didn't come up with this idea. Because nobody brought your box. I'm going to keep it a bean with you. The OG Xbox, nobody brought it. If the series consoles is looked at as a failure and it outsold the OG Xbox, come on, man.
I can play it on Xbox or PC. I may even be able to play it on the PS5 or the Switch. Why
didn't PlayStation come pick you up? Why didn't you, since you like Linux so much, why didn't you work with Gabe and Steve? Are you salty that Gabe is working with Xbox? I think you mad that they figured it out. You know how you sit there and you looking at somebody to see if they're going to figure out something and you like, I ain't going to do it. They did it. They figured it out. Damn it.
So why would I buy the ROG Ally?
Because you want it. The same reason why I brought the original, because I wanted it. And the same reason why I'm gonna buy this one, because I want it. The same reason why anybody buys anything, because they work for it and they want it. Why are you questioning? Why are you pocket watching people?
And of course, delivering a killer game in a reasonable time frame isn't something.
Killer games don't sell anymore. I don't know what you think or what's going on. This is not 1986, B. That don't happen like that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I got to call foul on the play, bro. I got to call foul because you think making a game sells like that. I'm sorry. You got everything messed up. This is not 1986. They don't do it like that no more. Like, the most popular games are multiplayer games. They're not exclusives. Nobody buys a console for exclusives. And if they actually did, They probably play it a couple of times, and then that's about it. But they're going back to their multiplayer games. And if you're gonna say that the majority of the games on the PlayStation in the top 10 is Fortnite, whatchamacallit, Minecraft, and Call of Duty. So if those are available everywhere, what's up? Like, you're not making no sense. I'm trying to figure it out.
Xbox is particularly good at right now. During the showcase, there were several games still in development that weren't even mentioned, like State of Decay 3.
Now you acting like y'all had 36 studios when you was there. You just got Bungie. You had a hot 2. Like, you had a hot 2 studios. Like, come on with your hot 2 studios in the face.
Perfect Dark and Fable. And many of these games have been in development over 5 years.
They don't need to rush no shipment. Why you want them to ship a broken game? You hate them anyway.
There's only one reason these games are behind. It's because Xbox has lost their culture of shipping at scale.
Xbox has been shipping AAA titles every quarter. Game Pass is wild. Releasing games is crazy. Their schedule is so sick. They have so many games, literally. They don't have to rush anything. You're bugging.
They don't have the people or the process in place that can ship. And it's a shame because...
Has they missed anything? The games that they've been talking about, they've been coming out, right? Have they closed down any studios? I think Sony closed down studios. I think they shipped Concord and fell. Actually, PlayStation has been canceling games across the board. Where's your tongue for that, B? Like, where's your tongue for that?
they used to do better than anyone in the business.
That's a goddamn lie. You said Microsoft was shipping games better than anybody in the business?
Recently, Microsoft...
Yo, B, I'm an Xbox. I'm an Xbox head. That's cap.
announced that they were going to be doing layoffs. A lot of people are speculating.
She's mad. She's mad because she got laid off. When they say laid off, she got PTSD.
That it's going to be the sales division, but I'm not so sure. I think that if I was working on one of the games that didn't make the showcase, or if I was in the Xbox hardware team, I would be worried.
You should have been worried. You was on the Xbox hardware team that shipped that OG Xbox. They buy. Buy, it ain't sell. Bye. Goodbye.
So there isn't going to be any killer game that drives me to buy this handheld.
You wasn't buying a handheld anyway. You don't like Windows. You already said that from the beginning. All the stuff that you're talking about is straight cap. So go buy a Steam Deck. You like Linux, right?
And that's okay, right? Because Xbox Anywhere means that I'm going to be able to play all my Xbox games and PC games on my handheld. And that right there could be a big selling point. Except it looks like that might not be the case. There's been some confusion on this point, but from what I can tell, Pure Xbox is correct. You won't be able to play native Xbox games, only native PC games.
That's why they go into a unified front where all games will be native to the PC. All this fear, uncertainty, and doubt being spread. Yo, I've never seen a hit piece like this. This is wild.
This isn't great, in my opinion. If Xbox Anywhere means I should be able to play all my games on the handheld device, then darn it, I want to play all of my games, not just my PC games.
Stop the cap. You don't play Xbox games at all. And the fact that you hate Windows, something that you've stated already, doesn't give credence to any of your case. Your case is kind of flimsy. This is like a P. Diddy case and you're the prosecutor. You're not selling me on this.
Further on in the article, they say, let's hope we might get native console games in the future, but it's not something we're expecting right now. Think of the ROG Xbox Ally as a Windows 11 gaming PC with Xbox-specific features, because...
Facts. If you had a ROG Ally, which you don't because you don't like Windows, then you would know that you're able to play your Game Pass games in there with no problem. You also know that you're able to download them to the system. So majority of the games that I want to play is right there. Never had no problem. I've never went to my ROG and tried to get a game and just download it and it didn't work. I'm sorry. Never happened, right? But then they also are fixing up the interface. The only problem I had was with the interface. And I'm with you. I don't like Windows 11 like that. I don't. That's my main problem why I play my Steam Deck the most. So the fact that they fixing it up and everybody said it's fixed makes me say, I gotta call cap on you.
That's basically what it is. If you don't have a big budget, why not just buy a PC? They're not that expensive.
What are you working for, a PC company? I swear to God, she got J-Dub, Puerto Rock, King Thrash talking points. She's a plant, son. I'm sorry. This is a hit piece. They don't want a PC. Maybe they got a PC. Who are you talking to? Like, you're a weirdo talking like this. Come on now, stop worrying about somebody else's money.
If you build it yourself, and you'll have Windows 11, just like the handheld, and you'll be...
You ain't walking around with no big ass PC and a monitor all around the house. Stop the cap.
able to play all of your PC games. If you want a handheld, skip the PC and buy a Steam Deck.
Told you. She's trying to do anything to undermine Xbox. I told you. I knew it was coming. She's doing anything in her soul to undermine Xbox.
Or some of the other handhelds with SteamOS on them. It's built on Linux, so no Windows 11, and it's cheap compared to most of the handhelds out there. And
yo, I ain't never seen this much hate coming out of one person. I don't know what Xbox do to their ex-employees, but this is wild.
that brings up one other possibility to consider. Maybe it's price. Maybe Xbox and Asus are going to undercut the market by making this a very inexpensive handheld.
That's a bunch of bullshit. We already know. I already put a G080 to the side. There ain't no way in hell that thing is cheap. I know what's inside the box. I know the tech. Stop it. Here comes the other hit piece. She talks out of one side, then talks out the other. Check it out. Watch. I know.
I personally don't think this is likely to happen.
Told you. Well, I told you. I didn't even watch this. This is all live. I swear to God.
Remember, the Xbox ROG Ally is essentially a reskin of an existing product.
Oh, I'm upset that we didn't do that. Yo, remember the first OG Xbox? All of their parts was off-the-shelf PC parts, B. All of them. Everything about the OG Xbox was off-the-shelf PC parts. Yo. You know what they be counting on? They be counting on you young dudes not to have an OG in your corner to tell you what's up. She full of it.
Their cheapest version of the ROG Ally is around $600. I assume that both Xbox
Pocket watching.
and Asus don't want to lose a lot of money on this new device. Asus is great at hardware, and I'm sure they have already done the cost reduction on the handheld. You see, with hardware, the post-launch plans are almost more important than building the initial product, because in hardware, the game is price reduction of all of the parts, because then you can make a profit in years 2, 3, and 4 of your console. The ROG Ally has already
Did y'all make a profit with that OG Xbox? Is that why you gone?
been through this process, so it's very unlikely the price is going to be the thing that they will be able to lower. It's unlikely to be the thing that brings gamers to buying the handheld.
And why are you so stressing this handheld like this? Like, you already told people to go buy a Steam Deck. Actually, you told people from the beginning, the moment they fired you, you went and put Linux on your joint. So, of course, I knew you was going to talk about Steam Deck. I knew it. So, whatever. I got a Steam Deck. Okay. What's up with the guys that want it all?
The Xbox Anywhere message sounds great on the surface, but in reality, it's just marketing. It's style with no substance.
I think it has a lot of substance. The fact that I can just play everything everywhere and it's cross entitlement to cross play, cross progression, I think that is a wonderful thing. I'm telling you, it's called liberation. Oh, so you like me just being able, she told you go buy a PC and sit next to the wall. That's what she told you. Go buy a PC and go sit down over there, mind yourself. Mind your business. Go over there, mind your business. Then gave you another device that's inferior to the device that's coming out and told you buy that device and use that device that has Steam on it. She told you to go buy a Steam Deck where the new ROG Ally has Steam On it. Make it make sense, B.
Unfortunately, I don't think marketing is going to be enough. There's
Marketing wasn't enough for you to sell that OG Xbox that it didn't sell. Didn't beat the PlayStation in no place. Yo, y'all was so whack that y'all bowed out and got the 360 out earlier because y'all was getting slaughtered in the streets. Don't act like I don't remember.
literally no reason to buy this handheld.
There was no reason to buy an OG Xbox, but y'all still made it.
Obviously, as one of the founding members of the Xbox team,
I would not be out here capping like that for that. That was not it, B. That, yo, you know what's so crazy? They wanted to move away from your founding members and you dudes launching that OG joint because it should have been a Power PC console. Don't think I don't remember that y'all went in there and snaked the Power PC dudes. I already know that situation too. I know that story too. But the fact is, they wanted to move far away from the OG Xbox to get to the 360. Man, listen, don't forget. That's the reason why the 360 had so much failures, because y'all didn't test it properly, because y'all wanted to ditch that OG console quickly because it was just an off-the-shelf PC that couldn't compete with the PlayStation. But I'm just saying,
I'm not pleased with where things are today.
they weren't pleased with things were when they gave you the pink slip.
I don't love watching all of the value that I helped create.
What value did you create? You started off, you jumped it off. That's it. You don't get to finish some. Listen, some missions you ain't gonna get to finish. That's like a Spartan, right? Listen, this is what I can't stand about Xbox ex-employees. Y'all are willing to just take a crap on somebody that gave you an opportunity and gave you a job. Somebody that put you into space. Somebody that believed in you. So the moment you have the opportunity to turn around and ish on them, you just letting it go with no problem. It's all of you dudes. It's Mikey Barra, it's you, it's all disgruntled Xbox Microsoft employees. Y'all weirdos. PlayStation don't got that, man. I gotta respect Jack Trenton. I gotta respect Shohei. I gotta respect Sean Layden. These dudes are stand-up dudes no matter what. They did Sean Layden so dirty. And he ride to the death, man. Y'all dudes are disappointing. Y'all, man, you threw your flag in the garbage.
Slowly get eroded away. I'm sad because from my perspective, it looks like Xbox has no desire or literally can't ship hardware anymore. So this
Y'all still listening to this?
partnership is about a slow exit from the hardware business.
It's about a slow exit from the... You almost killed them. They almost didn't make it. You don't really know who Xbox is. Like, you really don't. Like, you so detached from the company. Yo, your hate goes so deep. The moment that you got fired is you just got Windows out of your life. And you're mad that anybody using Windows. Your mission is to get people away from Windows. I feel it.
Completely. Personally, I think Xbox hardware is dead.
Yo, I swear to God, she's like a Twitter person. I think I was fighting with her on Twitter. You gotta be eternal. I think you're eternal.
The plan appears to be to just drive everybody to Game Pass. And let's be clear.
I told you years ago Game Pass was the platform. If you didn't know everybody was going to services, when the movie theaters are completely empty and everybody is on services, listen, I guess you can't see the forest for the trees. You're not a futurist. And that would speak to code. That would speak to code because y'all got PC parts off the shelf and called it a console, but you repping that had Windows inside. Yeah, okay.
It has a lot of value. I'm thinking that might be why they decided to charge $80 for Outer Worlds 2.
She back on this $80 pocket watch and shit. Yo, like, listen, it don't cost $80 for you inside Game Pass. They could charge $100. Yo, really, to be honest with you, the real price for this is 100 and some change. Right? The real price. Say the real price. The real price is 100 and some change. Right? That's for PlayStation dudes. The dudes that you like the cat for, them Steam dudes, everybody that you like. For those dudes that don't got Game Pass, if you're not in the in, you in the outs. You got to pay that bread.
The developers have been clear that they didn't make that decision.
They shouldn't have to make that decision because it ain't their call. Make the game, mind your business. We pay your salary, that's it. What are you worrying about the cost for? You've been paid. They don't make that. Who does? Unless you're independent, stop it.
And here's the thing, maybe it will work. Xbox has a deep portfolio. The remake of Oblivion was obviously a huge success.
Oh, now she want to give kudos. Oh, remake of Oblivion was a huge success. Man, jeez. I'm telling you right now, like she covering her bases talking about maybe it might be a huge success.
And they can continue to outsource that work to external companies.
They have 36 studios inside. They don't need to outsource anything to nobody. They're working on that. Like the wildness in this hit piece is wild. It's 12 minutes of wildness.
And make a lot of money releasing their older games. Older games from an era when Xbox knew how to build them. But what is the long-term plan?
The long-term plan was to fire y'all that didn't succeed when it came to hardware. To get y'all out of there because those old thoughts ain't playing in this new world. The new world don't care for that. That's the long-term plan. The long-term plan is to put software everywhere to make sure that hardware is available. The long-term plan is to get it done by any means necessary. They Malcolm Exodus. Malcolm Xbox. That's what they are.
What are the new hits? What will make
I need the new hits. You just showed Giz. What's up, man?
people care about the Xbox?
Yo. She doesn't know. She's tone deaf to what the industry wants. Like she really is.
It's 25 years from now.
She said 25 years from now. I'm worrying about today. You weren't.
I was excited to see Clockwork Evolution in the showcase.
Because you hate Xbox and you want a fake excitement and you wanted them to fail. So you saw this and you knew this was a hit. $80 hit to everybody else's pocket that's not in Game Pass.
But will something like that be enough? Do they have more? Next year marks the 25th anniversary of the Xbox, and I'm sure that they will have some big announcements and plans for honoring the milestone.
They ain't not bringing you back to talk on stage about what you did 25 years ago.
Maybe next year is the year. Maybe next year is the year that the fog will clear and all of us will see the beauty in these latest announcements.
Cap, I'm stopping this right here. This travesty of justice is insane. Let's get going with this. This is trash. Now, I ain't going to be too much long-winded on this. I just want to know why the hell that there's no loyalty there. It wasn't like these dudes made chump change. It wasn't like they wasn't integral in starting a process. Just because you start a process don't mean that you're going to finish a process. You was part of. As part of a company, you didn't own the company. You don't have direct say in something. Maybe you didn't like the way that you was terminated. Maybe you didn't like the way that your ideas wasn't listened to. Maybe you don't like the way things went. But that's absolutely no way for you to sit back. I want you to go back to the day that you was happy that you got that job. I always do this inside. Anytime I feel disgruntled with a place that I'm at that I don't like over a period of time, and I say to myself, and if I catch myself, I don't want to be that employee, that person that's there, that's working for a company, talking bad about a company. I think that's Mikey Barr. I'm gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you. I think conversationally, he probably said some things to the right people, and those right people heard the right things and got rid of a situation that they felt that was bad. But then we got to talk about this Laura Fryer. I mean, yo. Sat there, watched it. You put it up as public consumption. I watched the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you, man, that was my live reaction to it. I'm just like, damn, B, I don't ever want an employee like you ever to work with me on anything, man. I don't want a friend like that. I don't want an employee like that. I don't want somebody like that to do something like that. Yo, you won't ever hear me talk bad about nobody that gave me opportunity. Blessings. Thank you so much for the opportunity that you have given me. You have given me an opportunity. I didn't feel entitled that I had anything. I don't care if I went to school for a major in certain areas and I got that job based off of my skill set that I presented to you. I don't care if I got that job based off my experience that I set forth for you. At no point in time, you gave me the opportunity. You went at me and you was like, yo, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to go do this. And we did something good with each other. We did something great in some space. And then I'm no longer with the company, and you continue to go forward. Even if you stumble, when you stumble, I'm gonna give support. Even when you stumble, I'm gonna be like, wow, yo, I've been fired by probably like 2 or 3 jobs. At no point in time will you ever hear me talk bad about them, because I understand that it was my fault that happened, right? Maybe I could have did a little bit better here. Maybe I should have did a little bit this here. That was a learning experience. But while I was there, son, they gave me opportunity. They helped me feed. They helped me do this, that, and the third. You guys, man, I don't know where your morals is at. I don't know where y'all come from. And this old dudes keeping it real. Y'all some old heads. Y'all supposed to be showing the younger heads the real way to keep it real. Y'all not doing that's just because you can. You said it in your video. Just because you can do something don't mean that you should. Just because you could say something out your mouth don't mean that you should. You're setting a bad precedence for everybody around the boards. I'm telling you right now, me personally, as much as, console war dudes is going to use this as console war fire, I'm looking at it as a black eye in a hiring. And I'm pretty sure whoever gave the green light and said, yo, let's put those people in place that are doing this conversation after the fact are regretting saying yes. And I don't have nothing wrong with that. You should regret saying yes to somebody that backstabs and turns around. And y'all gonna sit here and say, yo, King, you're supporting an organization. No, as a business owner, when you go out and you hire somebody, you're putting your faith and belief in those people. And sometimes there's business secrets that go on in the background. You're putting that belief in those people. Yo, I done beat this dead horse to death. I'm sorry. And it may come off as, oh, King, you upset. No, that's my passion for the company. And I'm going to tell you, man, because I've been on both ends of the stick. Boy, I did the firing. I did the hiring. I've been fired and I've been hired. At all times, you got to have humility in the beginning and at the end. Not all soldiers are going to finish the fight. But when you in the fight, you fight to the death. It's funny how you showed the American flag in your video. That is the only American company. Where's your patriotism? Right? Liberty or death, right? You sat there and showed PewDiePie. You could have showed anybody else but that dude. Right? You showed PewDiePie an American flag. Liberty or death. Right? Microsoft is living up to whatever that flag means. Freedom from the box. Putting games everywhere. Freedom. Liberty. Something that you don't stand for. You stand for confinement. Refinement of the same failed metrics that you've been failing at. That's why you're not there. You're not part of the higher learning and higher thinking. You're not part of that. You're not part of that team that thinks outside of those small constraints. That's 1990 thoughts. Nobody doing that no more, B. But this is Xbox Frontline News. If you like anything that you saw here, please sub. I'm playing games daily on Frontline Gaming Streams. That's my sister channel. That's not this channel. Go to Frontline Gaming Streams if you like anything about me streaming games and stuff like that, and go have fun. But if you like this video, I drop videos daily, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Without a doubt. You like Xbox, I'm your friend of the end. Heidi ho, ha, ha, ha. And I'm going to tell you like I always tell you. Try to play the Game Pass. That's right, Bella, we out.